Hello everyone. How is it going, guys? It's the end of the year. We made it. GG us, dude. Uh, what the hell is going on? Why am I sitting here? This isn't DesTr0. What have you done with them? So, uh, this is just a chill episode, guys. I don't have a script. I just have a couple notes written down of what I want to talk about. I just wanted to put out one last video before the end of the year, and I figured I might as well talk about the games that I've played this year, because 2020 may have been a mediocre year. I think we can all agree on that. There were still some great games, and I love video games, so why not talk about them, right? Don't worry, I do have a full DesTr0 episode coming. It's in the works right now. Should be coming out in January, hopefully before school starts again. Yeah, I'll try to work on that after this video, because I do want to make another full DesTr0 episode, and after that I have no idea, because as you may have seen during the fall, I didn't put out a single video because school took up all my time, and I really want to focus on my studies, because, well, I think it's worth it in the long run, even though making videos was really enjoyable during the summer. So I do want to get back into it eventually. But for now, you're just gonna have to get the one video, right? Anyway, so before jumping into the games, I do want to talk about a bit I want to talk about a couple things that happened to me personally this year. I don't want to go into too much detail because you may not even know me or you don't care about me. So if that's the case, if you really don't care about my life, you could just skip to the timestamp. I'm going to put it on screen where I start talking about the video games. If you're mildly interested, then feel free to watch along. So 2020. What happened in 2020? I don't want to talk about the big headlines because there are lots of other places that are more qualified to me to talk about that. So I'm just going to start with, just my life, right? What happened for me. So at the very end of February 28th, I got my braces removed. Now, obviously you haven't seen me with my braces because I uploaded my first video in June. So then a good question to ask is, what the fuck do I have in my mouth right now? Excellent question. I am currently wearing an apparel, which has, well, two main purposes. The first one is to make sure that the bones of my teeth remain in place. So I have this apparel that forces them to not move, so that I don't have to, wear braces again in the future. And the second, and also kind of important reason, is that if I don't wear it, I look like a freaking idiot. So let me show you. Yeah, I'm a freaking nerd that has -1 tooth. Can you imagine that, dude? Imagine not having all your teeth. So yeah, that's where I'm wearing something in my mouth. And let me tell you, the first week of having to wear that was horrible. Unless you've had something like this, you have no idea how it feels. Imagine if you had something in the inside of your mouth constantly, dude. You lose so much space. Speaking was a real challenge for the first few weeks. I had such a hard time. And even now I think I've gone, pretty good at it, because I've been wearing it for 9 months. But when I recorded my videos this summer, when I was just recording the audio, I would remove it to get, I don't know, maybe a slightly better quality for my voice. But when I'm recording with my face, I'm wearing it, obviously, so that I don't look like a complete idiot. So, yeah, that happened. Thankfully, right after getting my braces removed, it was March break, so I didn't really have to see anyone. And then right after that, at the beginning of March, I think you all remember what happened. So that made it so I didn't have to see anyone after for the rest of basically 2020. Interesting. We did go back to school for 1 week, and it was before everything shut down. And it was a really interesting week because, the first cases appeared where I live, like in my province, and then people were speculating, are they going to close down the schools? And then some teachers were like, no, don't worry, you should be fine. They're not going to close school. And then I think it was the Friday, like we didn't go to school. And that was it. We never went back. Gosh. It kind of sucks. So I was in secondary 5. So what does that mean for non-Canadians or non-Quebecers? It means, well, it's kind of like finishing high school, I guess. Like you finish secondary 5 once you're 17 years old. So you can make a conversion using that measurement. If you want to know how long that is in feet, I don't know actually. So anyway, yeah, once you finish secondary 5, you go to college and you have like a prom or like a graduation ceremony, etc., etc. And obviously I didn't get any of that, which kind of sucks. But that's just how it is, right? But considering that the situation could have been worse for me and my family, like no one got COVID, we didn't lose our jobs or anything, so that's the most important part. And then things like that come obviously at a second, and the fact that I didn't get them is like, it bums me out, but I was still able to live a little. I don't know, whatever, I'm just rambling. So I mean, I still technically had a bit of classes online. It took a while before they figured the system out. Like for the first month, I didn't really have anything. The government gave us some general work, like they gave it to the whole province, which means it was completely inappropriate for what we were learning at that point, because all the different schools can teach the material for the year in a different way, so they couldn't give us anything really specific. So I didn't really do any of that. And then at some point, the teachers gave us actual work that was important to or that was relevant to what we were learning. So I did some of that. But towards the end of the year, the government just said, all right, you're not getting any final exams, and your grades that you had before everything shut down, yeah, your final grade cannot go lower than that. It can only go up. So I looked at my grades, and I said, all right, well, I'm done, boys. I'm done. Because I had good results all around. And I figured that I wasn't going to use really any of my classes that I was learning at that time in college. Except English. I did do one final thing in English, which was an oral presentation or a video on any subject. So I did want to do that to get some more practice in, and especially considering that I knew that I wanted to make videos, which is what I did. I stopped school to start work on my first video, and that's what I did for the summer. I produced 3 videos, and I was working also, and I saw friends a couple times, not too often. Obviously, there were still some restrictions, but yeah, I put a lot of work in my videos during the summer, and it was a lot of fun. Honestly, very enjoyable. I do look forward to making my next video. What else I want to talk about? Oh yeah, okay. And after that, in fall, I started college. I'm taking a computer science course, which isn't necessarily going to be directly used for my job. Like I could take an IT job or a programming job or something, but I'm more interested in game development. But I figured that going in computer science was definitely a good start. I'm gonna get good at coding. I'm gonna learn how to develop software working in a team. That's a 3rd year thing, so that's gonna be later. But yeah, work in a team, work with code, stuff like that. And I'm gonna be just familiar with computers all around. And then I plan on specializing myself in in video games. Maybe I'm gonna go to university. Still haven't decided yet. We'll see. And yeah, I don't know what I want to do with this YouTube thing, because I do love making videos. I do want that to be part of my life somehow. I'm gonna have to figure that. later, not right now. I want to focus on my studies. So yeah, college started. Also, I got a new setup. Yeah, I got a new setup. You can't really see it right now. You can see my mic down here. I got that during the fall because of like online classes. I figured I might as well have a decent mic. It's not perfect right now. Eventually, I'm sure I'm going to upgrade to something like really professional, but it works for now. So the reason we upgraded my setup is because for the computer science courses, like the coordinator of the program said, it was recommended to have 2 screens. And having 2 screens is something I fantasized about my whole life, but we just never had it. But then my parents got me a good laptop and a second screen, and now I have a good working space. So I'm really happy with that. I made the last video on it, like the Shovel Knight video. I worked using my new setup, which is like much more powerful than the old home computer that we have. So really happy about that. Eventually, I'm sure I'm gonna build my PC. But for now, I'm happy with this laptop. Anything else I want to talk about? No, I think that's it for like my general life stuff. Let's move on to the games, right? Already been rambling for, holy shit, 10 minutes. Alright, who cares? Okay, I'm gonna go chronologically, so from the beginning of the year to the end. And at the very end, I'm gonna talk about Smash Ultimate, which is a game I've played all throughout which is a game I have played all throughout the year, but I want to talk about it in one section at the end. And I'm also gonna have a small Nintendo rant, because if you've been following closely what Nintendo has done in the past few weeks, you know I would want to rant about them. So anyway, let's get right into it. At the very beginning of the year, I was playing Shovel Knight because at the end of 2019, King of Cards released the final expansion of Shovel Knight. So I was playing that starting this year. But I didn't play for very long in 2020. It was mostly in 2019. And after that, if I recall correctly, I took a break from playing games because I was working on my own game. Super Flappy Mario, the legendary sequel to the first ever game I produced back in Secondary 3, like 3 years ago. Which was a project for my one of my, I guess it was computer science courses, an option back in high school or secondary school, whatever. We had to make a game, and I worked a lot on it. And then when I was done, I figured, okay, I learned a lot of things doing that. Also, I was making it using Scratch too, by the way, I should mention, which is really cool. I love using Scratch. It's not extremely powerful, but it has all the tools you need to get started and make some projects. So after making the original Flappy Mario, I figured, all right, let's start work on a sequel, and I'm gonna make it much better, much bigger, and everything. So I had started. I guess I had started in maybe even 2018, or no, 2019, somewhere. Not sure when development started. But I put a lot of work in the first few months of the year. I was just really motivated to work on that. So I might be showing some gameplay on screen here, but I made like an overworld with 5 worlds. And I programmed, and I made basically the levels of the water world, which were the easiest to program, which is why I started with that. And those levels are playable. I still have a couple bugs to iron out, but they're playable, and I might have to do some balancing. But yeah, that's just a small portion of the game. It's only 5 levels play like that or 6, I think. The rest of the game is going to be much more complicated. So if you've seen the gameplay on screen, basically you just control Mario going up and down, and you're avoiding enemies. Kind of like, the Flappy Mario, which is where the inspiration came from, obviously. Or a little bit of inspiration, but then I just made it my own thing. So the main gameplay I want it to be like the Cape Mario from Mario World. So basically, you have to alternate between holding left and right so that Mario goes up and down. But I figure that's going to be very hard to code, and I haven't really started doing that. I was scared of doing it, which is why I started just programming the water levels. So yeah, right now the project is on hold. I haven't had much time, or I didn't work on it ever since like February. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it because I know it would take a long time to finish it. I have tons of ideas for enemies and bosses and cool stuff to do with the game. It has a lot of potential, but I know that it would also take an enormous amount of time, which I don't really have because I'm gonna focus on school, and I would rather just do other stuff like make videos or just play games. So yeah, is it dead? I'm not sure. Maybe I could do something with it eventually in the future. And also the game is in French because that's my first language. So yeah, I did it in French. I'd have to translate it probably because I would like to make it English. That would take a lot of work also. So yeah, anyway, Super Flappy Mario, probably never coming out. So don't get any hopes up. All right, after that, okay, coming into March break, I got back into Minecraft. My relationship with Minecraft is the following, basically. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It is my most played video game of all time. But I usually play it on and off. Like, I'll have just this craving to play Minecraft, and then I'm gonna do that for like at least a month, and then I'm gonna take a break, and I come back later. However, I constantly watch Minecraft content on YouTube. Like, I've been watching Etho for maybe 7 or 8 years, something ridiculous like that. And this year I really got into watching Il Mango, which is a very technical Minecraft YouTuber. Watching the Sidecraft server and his Peaceful series. Anyway, so basically, at that point, yeah, I got back into Minecraft. Got back into my single player world, which I've been working on for a while. I think I started it back when the 1.13 update came out, the update Aquatic. So I'm not sure when that was. I should have looked at the date. I think I started a bit after, and now, yeah, I'm pretty far into this world. I've made lots of projects, lots of farms. So yeah, that's what I've been playing for the past few years. I've been mostly playing on that world. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun on it. So I worked on that for a while, for a couple weeks. I got heavily back into Minecraft. I think it was, yeah, I got back into Minecraft because of the announcement of the Nether update. So I just watched one video of like the first snapshot, and I was like, all right, I got to get back into this. So I just like got back into Minecraft because I was really excited for it. But I didn't play that for too long because then, pandemic hit, and I was like, okay, I have a lot of time. I have a lot of free time on my hands. So why not try to finish an old game that I have never completed? And that is when I decided to pick up Skyward Sword again. So Skyward Sword, a game that I got in 2011 when I was 8? Jesus. I guess so, yeah. A game that I had never completed. I think I had gone halfway through it before getting bored. Skyward Sword is not a bad game, but it takes a lot of motivation to finish because I feel like the game just drags on a bit, and it's what you have to do gets like, I don't know if I wouldn't call it necessarily repetitive, but it's not the most engaging gameplay. Yeah, it took a bunch of motivation, but I set out to complete it, and that's what I did. And I actually wrote a review of the game, which I had planned to be my first ever video. But then, as I was recording the video, I decided to scrap it. I think my script, I don't know, I just didn't really like my script. It was too long, not really that interesting. So I never produced a video in the end. I mean, it's fine. I decided to do instead the Golden Age of Breath of the Wild, which was a more interesting video than that review would have been anyway. But if they ever release a Skyward Sword remake on Switch, I'll definitely play that, and then maybe I would make a video on it, and then I could talk about some comparisons between the original and the remake, so that I could reuse elements of my script. But yeah, for now, I'm not gonna do anything with that. So, but yeah, I played Skyward Sword. It was an interesting playthrough. Not a bad game. Not my favorite 3D Zelda game. I think, yeah, Wind Waker is better, and I think I preferred also Twilight Princess. Is that true? Not sure. I'd have to think about my rankings, but obviously I prefer Breath of the Wild over all those. But yeah, anyway, I finished just in time. Well, I finished Skyward Sword just in time for the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake, which, as I've said in the video talking about the game, I wasn't really hyped for it until E3 2019, where Square gave us a bit of gameplay and a trailer, and from that point on, I was like, I don't know, I was hooked. They got me. So I got it at release, and since I didn't have much to do, I got to just plow through the whole game in a couple weeks. And if you want to hear my full thoughts, you can just click on the video that I've made. Yeah, in short, I basically really enjoyed the game. The combat was super enjoyable. The combat was amazing. The music was nearly flawless. One of the greatest soundtracks in gaming history. Characters were all great. I did have some things about the game that I didn't like as much. It wasn't a perfect game, but I think it was a pretty good remake. I can't really say that considering I haven't played the original, but it was a good game. I can say that much. It was a good game. So yeah, played Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then right after I finished, I think the second update of Mario Maker 2 dropped, which Nintendo says is the final update, which continues the streak of Mario Maker games only getting 2 updates, because Mario Maker 1 got 2 content updates, and Mario Maker 2 only got 2 content updates also. So I don't know why they decide to just do that. It kind of sucks, because Mario Maker is a game that could live on indefinitely. Like, it's user-based content. They can keep that alive forever. They could keep pumping out, small bite-sized updates that just add a few elements, which, I mean, I know is a ton of work just to add one element, considering how many freaking possibilities there are between the objects of this game. It's insane. But if they just kept doing that, at least we would have more stuff to play around with. And just adding one thing gives you so many new possibilities and interactions. So anyway, Nintendo decided that they would just do 2 updates. However, this update was amazing, giving us the Koopalings, tons of new power-ups, and obviously the world builder, or the super world maker, which is something really cool. It's a great feature. I'm really glad they added it. So that got me back into Mario Maker 2. I decided to... Well, I played a bunch of levels. I made some levels. I had plans to make my own super world. I ended up scrapping it. I think I would still be missing 2 levels if I wanted to complete that. Just a simple 5-level world. Because I took a long time to develop my levels and polish them. But I still made a few and released them. So that was cool. I played some versus mode. I got to S rank. I didn't push for S+. Maybe I could do that one day. But yeah, I got S rank. And I also went for 1,000 levels in Endless Easy, which is one of the most boring things you can do in this game. Don't do that, dude. It's not fun. Yeah, I mean, I did it anyway, because it gives you a piece of clothing. I think it doesn't even look good. Who cares? I did it regardless. And And another thing that I did, another grindy thing I did, was push for holding 500 world records at a time on Mario Maker courses. So the way I did that was by basically farming newly uploaded levels to get the first clear, because holding the first clear also gives you consequently the world record. So I would just get a bunch of first clears, and I would try to optimize my run a bit to get a decent time. And I did that for hours on end, and I managed to get 500 world records at a time eventually. And that just gives you the superstar barrette. I'm probably showing you on screen right now, like a piece of clothing for your me. Is it worth it? Probably not, but it does look neat, and I got it, so I'm happy with that. Yeah. Anyway, played a lot of Mario Maker 2. And after that, I think I stopped in June, so I played that for like May. Yeah, I think I played that for basically the whole month of May. And then in June, I was looking for something else to play. And one day, out of the blue, I'm not sure what inspiration I had, but I just decided to buy Hollow Knight on the eShop, my Switch. And I am very happy that I took that decision. Jesus. I had heard about the game from numerous different people, and everyone said it was a great game. So I probably should have picked it up sooner, but I did it in the end. That's all that matters. So I started the game. I put 70 hours into it, like in a couple weeks. Because holy shit, Hollow Knight is such a great game. I want to give it its own video eventually. But yeah, no, I don't want to talk about it too much here. But it is such an excellent Metroidvania, which was my first game from that genre that I played. And yeah, no, it's absolutely great. Team Cherry did an outstanding job, and now I'm waiting, like everyone, for the sequel. So whenever they want to release that or give us some news, be down. And I think I'm uploading this December 31st. So if I am, there's an Edge edition of the magazine that's going to talk about Silksong with an interview. So I'm probably going to pick that up. It's some news, and that's more than we've had in the past few months. So yeah, Hollow Knight, insanely good game. But I played it a lot in a short amount of time, so I like burned myself out for a bit. So after that, I just got back into Minecraft for like the rest of the summer. Just made a lot of progress on my single player world. And then yeah, that brings us to the beginning of school. When school started, I wasn't really playing anything. Yeah, I was just focusing on my studies. Yeah, I was playing some stuff here and there. I guess some Smash and whatever. But yeah, I wasn't really diving deep into a game. However, towards the end of September, I think it was at that time, there was the how do I call it? I don't know. Among Us happened. I'm just gonna say that. So Among Us happened, and if you've been anywhere on the internet in the past like 3 months, then you've probably heard of this game, because it has made huge waves, which is kind of crazy considering it's a 2018 game that just reappeared in 2020. So I didn't play the game myself that much. I played it 10 hours, I think it's all just, with friends and stuff. But I didn't really get into playing it myself. However, I did watch a lot of content, because every day for the past like 3 months, I've been watching this guy's Toast's video and his quest to reach that 10,000 IQ. I mean, he increases his IQ by like 100 every episode, so it's like his 100th episode. More like 110, because he did bamboozle us. Like, we got to 9,900 IQ, and everyone was like, all right, next one is going to be the 10,000, right? And then it was 9,910 IQ. and then he's been incrementing in 10 ever since. And maybe the day this video is releasing, he's gonna do the 10,000 special. Not sure, or maybe it's January 1st. So anyway, I've been watching Toast. So I didn't know him before, or nor did I really know Offline TV, but I got a bit into that. But I really just care about about Toast's content. And we'll see after you know he starts playing the game less, whatever. Maybe he starts uploading some other stuff once again. I'll see if I still follow him. But I did really enjoy his Among Us content, at least. But to be fair, the new map is going to be coming out at like early 2021, the developers said. So I'm sure that's going to bring back a lot of hype around the game. So I'm sure they still have some more content in them. That's not really a sentence. Anyway, so yeah, Among Us. And then in the rest of fall, I played like a couple of odd games here and there. I think I replayed through Celeste. Yeah, another incredible game. I want to make a game about it. No, sorry, I want to make a video about it eventually. Yeah, I replayed Celeste. Eventually, I think in October, I decided to buy Hollow Knight on Steam so that I could play with mods. And the reason I did that is because I saw a couple of videos made by Scurry, a streamer, which he plays, I mean, a lot of Hollow Knight and some other indie games. And he made a couple of videos about randomizers. And the one that really interested me was the room randomizer, where every transition in the game is randomized. So you get like just crazy combinations. Like the first room may lead to one of the late game areas with like super high level enemies, which your nail does nothing against. So I played a lot of randomizers. I think I played like maybe 6 or 7 in total. All throughout like October and like December. I've just had so much fun with it. Yeah, and also it made me buy Hollow Knight again, which I don't mind because Team Cherry deserves my money. They made such an incredible game. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun playing the randomizer. And I'm sure I'm just gonna keep doing that in the next years. From time to time, just pop a randomizer because it's a lot of fun. And also, on my Steam account, or on my Steam version of the game, I work to get all achievements in Hollow Knight. So I currently have all of them except one. I do want to get it. I don't want to like spoil it, but it's basically the toughest achievement in the game that I still have to get. So I'm gonna work on that maybe before school starts. I would like to finish that. I think I'm good enough. I think I've had enough practice, but I just have to like do it. Yeah. I know I'm being cryptic, but I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't played the game yet. Yeah, okay, that brings us to near the end of the year, and with okay, what am I saying? All right. Okay. In November 20th to be exact, Age of Calamity released, and considering that I am a huge fan of Breath of the Wild, obviously I had to pick that game up. There may or may not be a video made by me coming out about it. We'll see. So yeah, I played Age of Calamity. I got really deep into the game. I basically completed it. I did. Yeah, I think you could say I completed it. Except bringing my characters to max level and also getting weapons to max level. But I did everything else. I did all the side quests. I got all the Korok seeds. I did all the missions. So I'm pretty much done with the game. Like I might get back into it to do the full completion or to play it on very hard at some point. But for now, I'm done with the game. Had a lot of fun with it. But yeah, it is my next video, so I'm gonna have my full thoughts there. And then that brings us to, well, the end of the year, basically. So yeah, I play that throughout December, well, throughout the first half. And then the final game I played, or that I just picked up last week, is Hades. So I haven't played it that much yet, but so far it's an incredible game. My first ever roguelite or roguelike, one of the two. Yeah, it's a genre I haven't ever played before, and gosh, it's a really fun game. I'm having a blast with it. I can't wait to just keep diving deeper into it. So it might end up being like my game of the year, 2020, once I keep playing it. But yeah, so far a really solid title. I haven't played enough to give my full thoughts though, but I just thought I'd mention Hades because it's a game I played this year. So that pretty much covers the whole year. However, yeah, I do want to talk about Smash because I am a huge Smash Ultimate fan. I think it's my favorite multiplayer game. Smash is just so much fun. I had played a lot of Smash on Wii U also, so obviously I picked up Smash Ultimate like day one when it released, along with my friends. I mean, that had Switches, or some of them got them like at Christmas. So anyway, we've been playing Smash the whole year basically. So this year, what we got? So we got 4 DLCs this year. In January 28th, I think, was the release of Violet, the final DLC of the first Fighters Pass, which was Joker, Hero, Banjo, Terry, and Violet. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit disappointed that we got another Fire Emblem representing, considering like how strong the other characters in the Fighters Pass one were. I don't really care about Violet. I haven't played Three Houses. I might play one day. I've heard good things about it. So yeah, I should probably try it out eventually. But yeah, I just don't really care about Violet. And they're okay to play, but not my favorite. But they're in the game, and that's it. And then after that, in June, yes, there was a 6-month gap due to COVID and everything. Nintendo had to figure out how they wanted to work. So yeah, the first fighter of the Fighters Pass 2 was Min Min from ARMS, which I wouldn't say no. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm like disappointed by her, because they did reveal in March that the next fighter was going to come from ARMS, and it didn't. They didn't lie. But ARMS is a game that I haven't really tried, but I know that basically everyone quit that game. Like it has like shallow gameplay and no replay value, so it's definitely not like the hypest game. They still gave us a rep, which is kind of cool. Min Min is an interesting character, I should say. Definitely kind of boring to play or play against. I don't really like her. But yeah, she's also in the game. But the last 2 DLCs we got, definitely, in my opinion, well, I wouldn't really say that they make up, but they are much better. And on October 1st, we got a trailer for Minecraft Steve, which is still something I have a hard time believing actually happened. It is such a crazy thing. And I mean, when you look at it, Minecraft is currently the best-selling game of all time. So I mean, it makes sense that Steve would be in Smash, which is just, you know, the culmination of so many great video game representatives. But like you know, a lot of people have been advocating for Steve to be in Smash for a while. But how would he work? He's just such a weird character. You have like so many mechanics that don't have to do with fighting games, and yet Sakurai managed to make a character that is Minecraft. Like Minecraft Steve Minecraft Steve in Smash is Minecraft Steve in Minecraft. I've said Minecraft way too many times. Holy shit. Like the way his moveset works, it's like kind of complicated at first. Like there's a lot of nuances, but he just makes sense, and he's a great addition to the cast. And even though I don't really like to play as him that much, I mean, definitely more than like Min Min or Byleth, I think it's just extremely cool that he is in the game. And I'm glad that Sakurai decided to add him. I mean, it's not only his decision, but that he made it work. You know, he is an absolute genius and an incredible director, and we are very lucky to have him. And then at the Game Awards, we got the trailer for Sephiroth. Oh my goodness, Sephiroth. That was a real shocker. I did not expect us to get another not Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy character. Just like, and they could have given us one from another game. But, you know, Sephiroth is one of the biggest villains in gaming history. So, you know, it makes sense to add him. And he is a really cool character. And his victory screen is freaking terrifying, dude. Like, compared to the rest of the cast. Like, Sephiroth is just such a cool character. And I'm glad that we got a lot of villains this time around. Like Ridley, K. Rool, and Sephiroth. So, an insanely good addition, once again. But now we only have 3 characters left. Oh my goodness. That we're all gonna get this year. Are they the final 3 though? Are we gonna get Fighters Pass 3? Probably not, but it would be cool if we got another Fighters Pass. Because Smash Ultimate is a game that I don't think they're ever gonna be able to replicate. Like the fact that this game exists is just phenomenal, and the number of franchises that are represented here is crazy. Would they be able to do that again? Like, if they're not able to do it, then why not just keep updating this game for a while longer? Because Smash Ultimate is a great game. It has solid mechanics, in my opinion. It's pretty well balanced. The cast of characters is just ridiculous. So, I think it's a great game that Nintendo could keep alive if they really wanted to. And I've been having a lot of fun playing Ultimate. However, the online is not the best. Definitely could be improved. You know, reduced input delay and stuff like that. Some people have been more vocal about it and complaining about it. But I've been just playing in arenas with friends. I haven't played a lot of quick play. I don't really care about it that much. Playing with friends in arenas, I think it works okay. Not ideal, but yeah, I wish we could have access to more modes online in arenas and stuff like that, but we've still been having a lot of fun playing Smash. However, last thing I want to talk about, I guess, is the Nintendo Rant. So, I've never played Super Smash Bros. Melee, but I have watched an absurd amount of Melee, you know, considering I've never even played the game, and I know a lot about the scene. I mean, not that much. I got into it, you know, back in 2016. I got into Melee, I think, because of the set at EVO 2016, H-Box vs Armada, which is such a great grand final set and one of the greatest entry sets for, you know, a new fan. And I've been following Melee somewhat closely ever since. And the reason I'm talking about this is that there was supposed to be this year the Big House, was it 10? I think it was the Big House 10, which is a yearly tournament, a yearly major for Super Smash Bros. Melee, held around Canadian Thanksgiving, so like in October. And well, this year would have been, I think it would have been December or end of November, December, around that time, and it was going to be online, using a modification of the game called Flappy, which basically just allows you to play Melee online. Melee being a 2001 game, it was never capable of connecting to online. But through the work of one guy, is it Fizzy? I can't remember exactly, or just Fizz. Anyway, one guy developed Flappy basically to allow people all around the world to play Melee online, and in the context of the global pandemic, of course, if we have a huge Melee tournament, it's going to be held online. But then Nintendo said, wait, you guys can do that. You guys can't play Slippy. So they sent a cease and desist to the Big House organizers, saying, "Sorry, bro, you can't do it." But the part that's like really interesting is that this tournament was also going to have a Smash Ultimate bracket, right? So it was going to be Melee and Ultimate. But they also shut down Ultimate, which Ultimate was doing nothing wrong. It was just going to be played online, which is perfectly fine. I mean, Ultimate is a game that can be played online, even though some people will argue against that. I'm just trolling. So people got kind of mad at that. The hashtag Free Melee started trending on Twitter and on YouTube. Everyone made their video talking about the subject, so you can go watch those. They're much better than what I'm doing here. But I just wanted to like bring my support to the Melee scene and say that what Nintendo did kind of sucks. However, you do have to consider their side. They are protecting their IP, which I mean, that's fine. But was it doing any harm? Like if they're not going to support Melee, right? If they're not going to do any tournaments for it, why do they have to stop the people that are organizing them from doing so? Like that I have a hard time wrapping my mind around that. Like they could just leave us alone. And even if we don't have their support, we don't care. The Melee scene, or like the Smash scene, has never really received any support from Nintendo, like a proper esport should from its company. Like literally, take any other esport, they've received more support from the developer than Nintendo. That is absolutely sure. Like no joke. Nintendo doesn't care about its scene. I mean, they don't have to, whatever. But we can care about it for ourselves, is what I'm trying to say. And they could just leave us alone. But they've decided that they would go out of their way to stop us from doing so without giving us another alternative. It's just like, well, fuck you, you can't play Melee in 2020. That sucks. Well, okay, too bad. And that doesn't really sit right with me. But then again, I've never played Melee, but it's a beautiful esport, and I don't see why Nintendo would try to like ruin the scene that hard, dude. But then another incident. I mean, there have been a lot of incidents, but something happened. So there was a Splatoon tournament, I think like the week after the cease and desist happened, or the weekend after, I mean. And on the finals day, some of the teams, either some of the team members or some of the teams, I guess some of the teams, changed their names to be in support of Melee, or like Save Smash or Free Melee and stuff like that. And Nintendo just decided to just not they decided to not broadcast the event, actually. So they were supposed to broadcast it, like I guess on YouTube. They decided, all right, we're not going to do it, just because Splatoon players or Splatoon 2 players decided to support the Melee scene. And that's just outrageous, dude. That's getting kind of close. I mean, not like censorship, but you get my point. It's outrageous and ridiculous, and I don't know what they were hoping to gain from this. But then some documents came out from anonymous sources, basically just saying that Nintendo had never really supported esport in any way. Like they said that they were going to work on some stuff with other companies like Red Bull, and like Red Bull were doing all the work, and then Nintendo at the last minute were like, actually, yeah, fuck it, we're backing off, we're not doing it. So Nintendo is a shit company. That's the end of the story, actually. But then we had like this dilemma, right? Well, I kind of don't want to support Nintendo. Oh wait, shit, I just remembered. Oh yeah, okay, that's a good point. Oh yeah, also I picked up Super Mario 3D All-Stars in September when it released. I played a bit of Mario 64. I mean, I got nearly all the stars, but then I stopped. But I can get back into it later, and I can play Sunshine and Galaxy, whatever. I guess it's also good to talk about this, because Super Mario 3D All-Stars is kind of freaking lazy. You know, they didn't put a lot of work and love into it. They just put the 3 games, and they made Sunshine HD and Mario 64 too, but okay, like at launch there weren't any options to use the original camera controls, which was like inverted compared to today. There wasn't even GameCube support for Super Mario Sunshine, a game that was originally played on GameCube. So yeah, so Nintendo, sad. Kind of a rough 2020. Well, especially in the end, they definitely haven't been loved by everyone. But then again, like they put out some some great games this year. Not that many though, mostly like Animal Crossing and Age of Calamity and stuff like that. But then we have this dilemma of, I don't really want to support Nintendo right now because I love Smash and they're kind of fucking us over. But then again, when they're gonna release Breath of the Wild 2, I'm gonna freaking want to play that, dude, because it's a sequel to my favorite game of all time. So obviously I want to play that. So yeah, we're just like stuck in this place where Nintendo makes great games, but they are a terrible company when it comes to business and marketing and stuff like that. Well, I don't want to say marketing, but just business decisions and stuff like that. So, yeah. Anyway, free Melee, save Smash, and fuck Nintendo, I guess. Whatever. The usual. And holy shit, I've been talking for 50 minutes. God dang it. Well, if you've stuck all the way through the end, then thank you very much. It means a lot to me because I didn't really have a plan for this. I just wanted to talk about the games that I played this year. Yeah, just to have something to look back on in the future, right? I don't really have a way to end this, so I guess I'm gonna do it because it's not a DesTr0 episode, so I can say it. If you want to subscribe, feel free. That would be really appreciated. It would be a great Christmas gift. Christmas is done. I don't care. Just drop a like, and you know how YouTube works. Yeah, you know how it works. Anyway, so I'm gonna catch you all later with the next full DesTr0 episode. As I said, hopefully in January, before I start school. So, ciao, guys. Wait, holy shit! I forgot to mention which game is my game of the year. So I'm recording this like 2 days after the rest of the video because I was finishing the editing and I just realized that I wanted to mention which game was my game of the year and I completely forgot. So I'm gonna do it here. It's fine. So I'm just gonna cut the chase and say that it's between Final Fantasy VII Remake and Age of Calamity. Those were my two favorite gaming experiences this year. Out of the two, I think that Final Fantasy VII Remake was a better game. I think it brought more to the table, and it was a bigger experience. Of course, it's just the first part, but it was still, a pretty big game, especially if you go for completion, which I think it's a good game to go for completion in. So, yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake, I think, is the better game out of the two. However, Age of Calamity is a game that is made to appeal to core Breath of the Wild fans, and that's exactly what I am. I am a huge Breath of the Wild fan, and of course, I'm going to talk about this in my video, but there are so many little things about the game that made me feel like this was just an extension of Breath of the Wild, which is more than I could ever ask for. And with all that in mind, this is why I'm giving my Game of the Year 2020 to Hollow Knight.